Silence of the Lambs. Has anyone ever seen The Silence of the Lambs? The late, great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner. As this poor doctor walked by. I'm about to have a friend for dinner, but Hannibal Lecter, congratulations, the late, great Hannibal Lecter. We have people that are being released into our country that we don't want in our country.
So that's the clip there that's been going viral today by a lot of accounts. This account here, ACYN, is very big on this. We are in fifth generational civil war, so you clip it up. This happens from all sides, both sides. Dilly team did it to DeSantis. It's just the tactic. I'm just highlighting the tactics. In a vacuum, it sounds kind of crazy. Donald Trump is big enough. Hannibal Lecter, of all people. Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, well, this is what the context that Grock gave was. So I'm going to give you what Grock gave, and then I'm going to give you what my takeaway is. It's a lot different. This is through Grock AI. This is the X, formerly known as Twitter. Artificial intelligence. I should explain this if people aren't using X. The same way that I used to take headlines and search through ChatGPT. You know, why would Elon leave that up to? I'm going to digress for a second. Why would Elon, leave that up to another platform to summarize the news through artificial intelligence? Well, why can't he's doing artificial intelligence with his cars, robots, etc. So now he has Grock that is doing a great job, actually, and it's going to get way better. This is like the iPhone 1 version, iPod, basically, summarizing the news stories. So when you come to X for news, you're basically getting the news here. You're not even needing to go. You still have to go for other details to other places, but this gives you the basic rundown. So this is summarized by AI, not through me anymore. Thank you, saving me time, through X. Trump praises Hannibal Lecter, sparking social media frenzy. Former President Donald Trump mistakenly praised. This is really, really bad. When they say mistakenly praised, I think there was a mistake here, but it wasn't a meaningful one. I'll tell you in a second what I mean by that. Mistakenly praised the fictional character Hannibal Lecter, who actually is a great character. I mean, I'm a big fan of the movie, books. The Silence of the Lambs as a wonderful man during a speech in Wildwood, New Jersey, leading to widespread confusion and mockery on social media. Trump's comments, which included references to Lecter's fictional cannibalism, were met with disbelief and criticism, with many users pointing out that Lecter is not a real person. The incident has sparked discussions about Trump's understanding of reality and his ability to distinguish between fiction and real life. I think this is interesting just from a standpoint of analyzing the figurative battlefield of information. Nothing's changing anybody's mind at this point. Let's say everything they said there was right, and Trump has completely lost his mind. That's not changing anything at all. Biden's lost his mind. Nobody cares. You are either going to vote for one of them two. There's nobody left undecided. There are people who say, I don't want to vote for either one of them. There's a real voting bloc out there. And I think that's why Trump ended up going to the Libertarian Convention. But there's nobody who's undecided between these two people. And they're going to, I don't know if I'm going to do Biden or Trump. No, it's either none or all. Let me break it down to, I went ahead and did a post on it real quick. Downloaded it, captioned it. And let's look at a longer clip, the real context here. They don't want this context, shall we? Because the brilliance of Donald Trump is that he can take, I'm tired of talking about immigration. It's an important topic. Do not get me wrong. I'm just damn tired of it. It's just over and over the same type of topic. And, it's important to talk about, but I'll give you my takeaway where I think our energy should be. It's not there, but I don't blame you for illegal immigration. It's a problem, a big problem. It's increasing all kinds of costs in our country, and it's not beneficial. It's destroying the culture of our country as well, slowly, bit by bit. But here's the full context of the clip.
The biggest thing we have is we have millions of people here that are criminals. They're criminals. Think of it. Venezuela just announced, and they had a new number, it was 67, now it's 72%. 72%, they're down in crime because they took their gangs, their gang members, they took a lot of their criminals and they moved them into the United States of America. Jail populations all over the world are way down, and these fools back there, the press, the fake news, they don't want to report it. You know why they're down? Because they're sending people in their jails into the United States. From Africa, from Asia, from all over the world.
So you see where the whole context is to talk about Hannibal Lecter. He's still going to get into that, but we all see it. They don't want to play that part of the clip. Let's go to New York real quick, and then we'll come back to Trump. This dude, Eric Adams, is on vacation in Rome, allegedly, while women are literally getting, I said hog-tied. We saw, it's not exactly a hog tie. On X, the stuff that you see, I was chatting with some other parents here recently in my area, and we were talking about like some of the stuff that we see, because it came up from like, what age do you give kids a cell phone? And I was like, I think pretty much by 6th grade they're all getting them now. Doesn't mean you have to do that, but I think it's pretty common for them to have it by 6th grade. And so we were talking about that, and then it came up like some of the stuff we're seeing casually on our cell phones. I'm not for censorship. That's not part of the conversation, but we're just saying, I casually saw a woman in New York. It's hard to even say, get basically violated right on X with your Frosted Flakes or whatever you're eating for breakfast. Just horrific. And you're looking at this as like, is this real? Am I really watching some type of security footage of illegal taking a belt, wrap, and then dragging and violating? I never finished that video. I saw the belt, and I saw the loop, and I saw the lasso, and I was like, I'm out, man. I can't even do this with y'all. But in New York, while that's happening, this Negro, Eric Adams, is on vacation in Rome while that's happening. And guess how he tried to portray it? Like it was a work trip.
First of all, most important thing, let's go Knicks. Let's win it. Headed to Italy. Part of an overall finding our common grounds, how to deal with migrants and asylum seekers.
How to deal with migrants.
How to deal with affordable housing, our economy, sustainability, just some important issues.
Wait, where are you doing that? So he's dealing with important issues. This is Eric Adams. How do we deal with migrants and asylum seekers and inflation and housing? Let's bring that back. Where is he at? Where are you heading to deal with these issues in New York, in America?
Let's win it. Headed to Italy.
You're heading to Italy to do what?
Part of an overall finding our common grounds, how we deal with migrants and asylum seekers.
How we deal with migrants, asylum seekers in Italy. What did you say, my nigga? You can't be seriously trying to pass this off like you try to help New York and Italy. You're like, you just can't be seriously trying to do this.
How we deal with affordable housing.
How do we deal with affordable housing in New York? In what? In Italy? In a 5-star restaurant in Italy? That's how you're gonna solve it?
Our economy, sustainability.
He's just rattling off every issue. The bruh's going on vacation. That's all this is.
And the most significant moment for me is the opportunity to meet our Holy Father, the Pope, His Holiness, and this is starting.
Bro, you don't have anything else to do back home? Like there's nothing going on in New York other than illegals lassoing innocents, and I can't even say it because YouTube is sensitive about what's happening to women in New York. They're getting yoked right in the face. It's just so normal. They just go to TikTok and complain about it like nothing, like it's just a normal occurrence. You do realize, women, that's not normal. That shouldn't be happening, and your men are letting you down if that's happening in your city. That's a man's job. So here's Donald Trump. Let me get him back to where we were. So you see the backdrop. You compare that clown world to Donald Trump, who says, wait, we got crime going on.
Jails into the United States, from Africa, from Asia, from all over the world. They're emptying out their jails into the United States.
They're not sending their
emptying
best.
out their mental institutions into the United States, our beautiful country.
Donald Trump's the one that said they're not sending their best.
And now the prison populations all over the world are down. They don't want to report that. The mental institution population is down because they're taking people from insane asylums and from mental institution. You know what the difference is, right?
Don't worry about it, Grandpappy Don. Eric Adams is on the case. He's going to Hawaii or Venice Beach, or he's going to Vegas, he's going to Disney World, or he's going to France, or he's going to Rome, and he's going to solve it in he's going to solve the problem in a lot of different Dubai. Eric, Mr. Mayor, why didn't you go to Dubai? I think maybe you would solve the problem that Trump's talking about. Maybe you'll solve that on a beach in Dubai.
An insane asylum is a mental institution on steroids. Silence of the Lambs. Has anyone ever seen the Silence of the Lambs? The late, great Hannibal Lecter.
You see how good that was? I'm going to let it play, but I just got to... You see how good that was? Because you talk about he talks about illegal immigration. It's just tired of talking about it because we just talk about it so much. Then he talks about it from the insane asylum aspect. You don't hear people talk about it from that standpoint, so it catches your attention. Donald Trump's great at that, man. He's really good at that. He's a marketer. He's like, he's like, people are kind of like, it's going in one ear out the other at this point. So he goes from insane asylum. That's how he goes to, that's the link between Hannibal Lecter was brilliant, but obviously also insane. That's the link there.
Institution. You know what the difference is, right? An insane asylum is a mental institution on steroids.
So insane asylum, kind of like the Joker, that type of thing.
Silence of the Lambs. Has anyone ever seen the Silence of the Lambs? The late, great Hannibal Lecter.
Now, I will say, to my knowledge, Hannibal Lecter in none of the movies or books that I've read ever died. So I think that's the mistake that I think he made. What a small mistake. He's obviously not being serious, you asshats.
He's a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene?
He's got a stand-up routine. I mean, Donald Trump is an amazing... I mean, I don't think we've ever seen, at least in my lifetime, obviously, we've never seen an orator president like him. He can talk about a serious topic, then he's got stand-up. He's like, what a wonderful man.
Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner as this poor doctor walked by. I'm about to have a friend for dinner.
They want you to hate Trump, but Trump is very hard to hate. You know, I've got my differences with Trump. I've got my beef with Trump. Not beef, but disagreements. One thing you will never hear me say is I hate Donald Trump. He's not likable. I'd love to meet Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Tim Pool and Luke Rakowski. I believe Luke probably met with him as well. I know Tim did. And that's all. I mean, the guy, whenever he comes into the UFC or wherever he's at, we did the live with Manhattan. It was fun talking about Trump being in Manhattan. Everywhere he goes. And I was thinking about this. I'm rambling a little bit, but just going to go. I was thinking about this today because I was watching Candace Owens on The Breakfast Club. And I was thinking about, and they asked her, well, why do you like Trump, basically, the classic, question. You really need to have an answer to that. I'm not going to go into that now. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, that my number one thing is really the culture part of him. It has nothing to do with the politics. For me, not that he doesn't have some good politics, but the most important thing is his cultural relevance, importance, and impact. And you saw it no better on display than they drag him into court for some utter nonsense. And after the court case, or his day in court, he goes to Manhattan to a bodega, and he gets nothing but love. He goes to a UFC event in Madison Square Garden. You got thousands of people yelling, bruhs giving dap, quick hugs. Everybody's smiling, like not just influencers. You see all the influencers from YouTubers to TikTokers to Twitch streamers, literally. And everybody's like, there's no beef. There's no fights breaking out. It's not like, I mean, it's all on peace, cheers. I mean, good vibes. Does that not mean anything to anybody? I mean, does that not mean anything? Does that not mean something to somebody? And that's what he does here. He's talking about immigration, and he's like, I'm not gonna talk about it like I was gonna say Dr. Michael Rectenwald. Why can't I just leave that bro alone? I done no beef with Dr. Michael Rectenwald, who's the Libertarian Party president candidate, but I'm thinking about somebody who's just dry. And I'm not gonna talk about it like me. Let me make fun of myself. I'm not gonna talk about it. And here's the legal immigration and what we're gonna do at the border, and look at what they're doing, and how long does it take to get your hearing and your asylum hearing, and they doing the interview. He's like, let's talk about Hannibal Lecter. And it's an old school reference, but it lands though. It kind of is like a cold water to your face, like, wait, what? Yeah, he's saying they're not sending our best. They're emptying out their jail cells. Half of these need to be in not a mental institution, an insane asylum. Remember Hannibal Lecter? And then all in the background we have the Haitian Hannibal Lecters. Now it was smart of him not to link that, because that's just lore at this point. The video that went viral was from 2 years ago. Remember, it wasn't that video wasn't inaccurate. It was just the other time that Haitians were eating each other. That was 2 years ago. It was a long time ago. Don't worry about the Haitians coming across the border.
But Hannibal Lecter, congratulations, the late great Hannibal Lecter. We have people that are being released into our country that we don't want in our country, and they're coming in totally unchecked, totally unvetted, and we can't let this happen. They're destroying our country, and we're sitting back, and we better damn well win this election, because if we don't, our country is going to be doomed. It's going to be doomed.
Yeah, so he went with it. I think the crowd did kind of like, they were a little confused by it, but that was the whole point of it. It was rhetorical use. It wasn't serious, obviously. Let me know. Maybe I would never call myself a Trump shill. Maybe I am shilling there. Keep me honest. Visit middlemaga.com. On the website, you'll see at the top right just a place for you to put your email. I really appreciate it. Want to stay in touch just in case something happens. Let me know what you think.
Middle Maga.